There was a collision in the intersection, and the motorcyclist has been pronounced deceased since the collision.
A crash that turns his front yard into a morgue. The victims pulled from the wreckage one by one. 4 are killed.
We begin with a developing story about 3 local teens who died in a car crash. 2 other teens are listed in critical condition.
We begin this day with breaking news. A 4th victim of that car crash involving students from Brunswick High School has died. Fox and the driver of the car, Jeffrey Chaya, were both supposed to graduate yesterday from Brunswick High School.
Tragedy in Kentucky. 9 people are dead.
How do you go about burying 8 young kids?
New details on the deadly tiger attack earlier today at the Palm Beach Zoo.
Rick, for 3 years, Stacy Conweiser pursued her passion here at the Palm Beach Zoo, working with the zoo's tigers. Today, as she prepared for a routine tiger talk, zoo officials say that a male tiger attacked her in a behind-the-scenes building away from the public where the tigers eat and sleep.
7 Eyewitness News has also just confirmed with state parks officials that a 14-year-old Buffalo teen died in a snowmobile crash at Allegheny State Park. It happened Sunday in the Red House section of the park. Investigators say Gabriel Brzezinski lost control and slammed into a tree. His father and sister were with him on separate sleds. He died at Olean General Hospital.
State police say it happened at Little Lakes Road and Jordanville Road in the town of Warren. They say Druin was heading north and passed a stop sign on Little Lakes Road, hitting the passenger side Karasik's vehicle, which was heading east on Jordanville Road. Druin and Larissa Karasik were pronounced dead on the scene.
One man was shot and killed inside a home on Highland Avenue at about 4 o'clock this morning. Tonight, that victim has been identified as Timothy Bailey. Police say someone broke in through the back door of the house and shot him.
A 23-year-old man died in a snowmobile crash in Bemidji Saturday.
They pronounced him dead at the scene. Police say Ryan was apparently driving alone when he struck a mailbox, a telephone pedestal, and several trees.
19-year-old Michael Altman of Waterville was killed in the crash. Hartford police tell us he was thrown from his bike, head-on collision on Route 12 near Brimfield Street. Altman was pronounced dead on the scene.
The whale that killed Dawn Brancho today is the largest whale in captivity, and it has killed before.
Dawn Brancho loved the water. She lived by it at a home on Live Oak Lake in St. Cloud, and she worked in water as a 16-year whale trainer at SeaWorld in Orlando. It's where she died, too.
A family watching as a mother on a roller coaster, 14 stories high, falls to her death.
She goes up like this, and then when it drops to come down, that's when it released, and she just tumbled.
The daughter and her son-in-law yelling and screaming, "My mom's falling off."
The man described the attack on their friend as absolutely ferocious.
A west of Milton woman is killed after a snowmobile accident early this morning. Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers tell 2 News 20-year-old Catherine Hobbs was the passenger on the snowmobile.
This morning we are following breaking news. 4 people are dead after this horrible crash here in Chula Vista.
Yeah, 2 cars crashed here, with one of them completely split in half.
There is not much left of that house in Tuscarawas County. The man who lived there did not make it out alive. It happened around 9 o'clock at a home on Beaver Street.
It may be some time before investigators know for sure exactly what happened, but all indications are that this was a natural gas explosion, and it rocked the neighborhood. It had some neighbors jumping out of their chairs, jumping out of their beds, even rushing out of their homes. It was Dean Taylor's bowling night, and just minutes after he got home, his house blew up and rocked the whole neighborhood.
Like a bomb drop. I mean, a tremendous boom, an explosion, a huge explosion. It was unbelievable.
He ran outside, and this is what it looked like. The house was gone. All that was left was a mountain of fire.
Like you say, he is one of the nicest brothers you could have wanted.
Claire Taylor says his 77-year-old brother had not mentioned any prior problems with natural gas.
The Highway Patrol is still trying to piece together what led to the crash early Sunday morning. The 2014 Ford Mustang went off the road and hit a tree before catching on fire. Joshua Lee, a cross-country runner, passed away at the hospital. Soccer players James Campbell and Mill Sproul and tennis team captain Sarah Vandenberg died at the scene.
Saturday afternoon in Kings Mountain, the homeowner calls 911 after hearing the chilling screams outside.
Somebody fell into a wood chipper. I need an ambulance and a police call here.
I said, tell me what's wrong with Mason. And he said, there's been a terrible accident. And that was the end of my world.
Alice Neal raised Mason Cox for the first 7 years of his life. The family says the Ashbrook High School graduate joined his cousin in taking on a job at this tree-cutting service, but not long after the wood chipper turned on, neighbors say it went silent. Authorities suspect he was pulled in feet first when he tried to kick the branches into the feeder. Investigators will also look to see how much training Cox received, although it will never bring him back.
Our top story this morning, 2 teenage boys died while scuba diving in Monterey Bay late yesterday morning.
This house on 14th Street in Wheeling turned out to be the scene of one bizarre and violent incident. Relatives of 63-year-old David Wallace say he suffered a heart attack. 2 people were in the house with him, including 62-year-old Roy Higginbotham. And this female pit bull was in the house too. A woman who was with them says Higginbotham tried to give aid to Wallace. Wallace's pit bull attacked Higginbotham. He bled profusely and died.
A search for a killer bear near Yellowstone National Park. That bear, or bears, it's unclear this morning, attacked 3 campers, killing one of them.
Jose Molina was performing maintenance on a 35-foot-long oven in 2012. A co-worker mistakenly thought he was in the bathroom and filled the pressure cooker with 12,000 pounds of canned tuna and turned it on. His body was found 2 hours later after the pressure cooker, which reached 270 degrees, was turned off and opened.
Near Tampa, where last night the earth opened up, as it does increasingly and thousands of times every year in this country. This time it swallowed a 37-year-old man as he slept in his home. I'll report tonight from NBC's Gabe Gutierrez.
In his bed 1 minute, gone the next.
All I see was the tops of his bed.
Jeremy Bush says he heard a loud crash, then his brother Jeffrey screaming late last night at their home near Tampa. He jumped into the massive hole in a desperate attempt to rescue his brother.
And I couldn't get him. All I could hear was, I thought I could hear him screaming for me and hollering for me to help him. I couldn't do nothing.